Hello, my dear ones. How are you today? This is like August 3rd. Like, wow, it's like holy moly. This is Thursday. But I thought I would try to get through some of these questions of yours and try to get down through this stack. And then, Jim B tries to refresh it every now and then, so make sure I can get the current serious cases. There's so many serious cases. Anyway, we're working on, I don't have it here, we're working on lymphatic iridology charts for you, and that ought to be pretty cool. I'll get the book done, but lymphatic iridology charts ought to be pretty cool because that's not out there. People need to understand iridology also shows us the great lymphatic system. Nothing else does. So it's just too cool. Too cool. All right. Now, Mariola, skin issues, depression. Hello, I'm 24 years young, dealing with acne, rosacea, seborrheic dermatitis on my face, and a little bit of fasciitis on my scalp. I had taken Accutane 2 times for 3 years total for my acne. It cured me, but everything came back. So it didn't cure you. It's suppressed. See, Accutane didn't magically make things disappear. Medical doctors can't magically make things disappear. This is a suppression, and it blew back on you. And the same thing with steroids and everything else. Oh, look, it's nice and clear. Thank you. Oh. And sometimes much worse coming back. Right? I also have been taking antidepressants, oh no, for almost 4 years. And this is a 24-year-old, looks like a female, right? 24-year-old with all these problems. And a lot of you guys have all this acne and rosacea, and I don't care what name they give it. It flatly does not matter what name they assign it. Whether it's eczema or acne, who cares? The problem is the same in each case, and that is understand what the skin is, right? The largest eliminative organ of the human body. Eliminative. So, is it a blood organ? Nope. Is it a digestive organ? Nope. Is it an eliminative organ? Yep. So what is to be eliminated? Poop. The skin doesn't eliminate poop. One more try. Urine. Absolutely. A form of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Your skin eliminates about the same material as your urine does. Systemic metabolitic waste. And so when they're not being eliminated, so when you see skin problems, the first thing you're going to look at is a couple things when you're at 24 years old. First of all, you got your lymph system from your mother. So mom, need to look at your lymph system and fix yourself. 2, 24 years young, you want to fix this. And I know I keep repeating this before you have babies. That way you're going to have some good healthy babies. And you don't have to have the pain and suffering that a lot of parents are going through right now. Just, it's horrible. So, taking a look at this depression. See, and this is particularly true, ladies, if you have any sort of depression, or bruising easy, or varicose veins, spider veins, sagginess, wrinkles, don't have babies. That's parathyroid and your calcium utilization. That just sets you up for deeper depressions, and of course the baby for all kinds of things, plus having the same weakness. So, you know, when you look in your body, you've got cells and you've got fluids. We can change the nature of the fluids, which then will. You've got to change the nature of your chemistry you're consuming. Then the cells then can regenerate and pick their consciousness up. Because remember, health is not just a chemical experience, it's an energetic experience, energy. Well, wait a minute. Didn't we just talk about quantum physics, talking energy has intelligence? You mean everything has intelligence? You mean everything is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient? Absolutely. When you guys, like yesterday, someone asked me about religion and things. You know, the whole thing is that each person needs their own sukkah, their own connection with the divine. And make sure your teaching that you're following gives you that, not a promise. Not a promise that you'll get it in the future if you follow these guidelines. Promises are worth a dime a dozen. Actually can link you and teach you how to link you to that which is the Creator. That's what you want. And hopefully we can help you do that here as well. I also have been antidepressants for almost 4 years when I was in high school. Oh, sad thing. During that period, I was abusing my body of alcohol consumptions and smoking weed. When I went to college, I have been under a constant stress, I bet. See, and I thought college should be fun. Don't you? Don't you think life should be fun? It should be fun to learn, not cram and pass tests. That doesn't give you anything. But to have fun. You know, and learning should be fun. Over cramming doesn't serve anybody. I had emotional stress. I see that as a big factor responsible for my issues. Well, think about this. To have the skin problems, my dear one, you also had to have the emotional problems. In what way? The adrenal glands. To have skin problems, you have to have adrenal and kidney problems. Hands down. Hands down. Because if you're removing the waste produced by your cells and the activity of your body, you will see no symptoms, no pain, no swelling, no stiffness, no tightness, no redness, no itching, no nothing. Because everything's moving. Everything is being metabolized and the waste eliminated. Everything is running like a smooth machine. Everything is cool and everything is good. It's only when you start developing obstructions. Well, how could you develop obstructions if you're burning the correct fuel? See, we're burning acid ash forming foods, which is not the correct fuel. So therefore we have an acid buildup in the body, and now you're seeing all the immune responses associated with protein or acidosis. And it's just, these are facts. And the proof of that is the remedy is the other side of chemistry. There's a remedy. Now, if we said that, made these statements and we couldn't prove it, then you could say, that's a theory. But applied, wow. But it only makes common sense, to tell you the truth. Now, I can get that suppressed your adrenal glands going to school, which made your skin probably a lot worse. You know, it's funny, whenever, and we've talked about this through the videos, whenever you suppress your adrenals, even in an emotional, we talked about, you know, the MS people and stuff, if you get an emotional kick, it could set you back for months and months and months. This one lady I was telling you about, this chiropractor's wife, she's having a hard time getting herself back, and she was doing good and walking and doing good. What deeper issues do we hold that suppresses the physical side of life? Yeah. I am sure that emotional stress is a big factor, and it exactly is. When I stopped taking antidepressants in my early 20s, thank God, I was starting to develop gastrointestinal issues. Well, think about this. What system runs through everything? What two systems run through every cell in your body, whether it's lungs, prostates, ovaries, kidneys, arms, legs, little toes? Blood and lymph. Literally surrounds everything. So if you're going to blame anything for causing systemic problems, wouldn't you want to look at the blood and lymph? Absolutely. The blood, we don't have to, we can understand the calcium buffering channels. We can see that. We can see what goes on when the blood is constantly being hit with acid ash forming foods. We can see that. It's obvious. Getting the people to understand that, the medical doctors thing, is amazing. You guys understand it like that. Amazing. Wow. She had, so, talking about the GI tract, not only do we have the the tree, the GI tract, we have the branch of the liver, the branch of the pancreas, the branch of the spleen. So these are branches. So when interstitially the lymph is backed up, it's backed up all through you. It's just so how much and where. And at first, of course, it's going to get the GI tract wall. It's going to go into the liver, because we're talking about the spaces around all cells where your systemic blood flows and your systemic lymph flows. One giving and one taking. One giving the nutrition and energy, and one collecting the waste and carrying it away. Slick machine? Absolutely. Our car does it. If we're smart, every factory that produces waste have a way of getting rid of them. Now, granted, in that saying, a lot of them bumped them into the air and into the water. Well, these are acids. So, the air got really acidic. Remember that video I was talking about up in the Smoky Mountains? I was up there one year, and the park rangers did this big video. They on cable up there, you can watch different channels about the Smokies, and they have one about the park. And because of this one power plant and some other plants, the top of the Smoky Mountains got so acidic that all the animals were dying, the fish were dying in the water, the plants were, everything was so acidic, things were decaying rapidly. And so when I was telling you that my son's wife put her toes in the water down in Gatlinburg, and it took her toenail polish off. And on this video, they were saying how acidic the air is. Now, it's better now because the power plant fixed themselves a little bit and everything. But to hear that story drives the acid factor home. There was another, this was years ago, Discovery Channel was filming the Appalachian Trail. And they ran across, and I was watching this, and they ran across a couple of park rangers. And they were testing this water in this lake. And they were filming, and they were asking them what they're doing. And they said, well, do you see that three-legged frog down there by your foot? And the cameraman went like that. And sure enough, there was a mutated frog. And they were asking, well, what's going on here? And he said, acid water. So when you get the fact that the acid side of chemistry is called corrosive side of chemistry in chemistry, and you get that, then you'll see why we're all in trouble when acids start building up. You can call it diseases if you want, but I think being truthful with the folk would be more appropriate. And so understanding acids is be a very smart thing for each and every one of you. It's only two sides to chemistry, and all you kids out there can understand that real easy. There's only two sides to everything. There's only a girl and a boy. There's only two sides to everything. Now, you can mix and match, but there's only two sides originally. And you just have to look at that in chemistry as well. Magnetics as well. You have magnetics because you have polar opposites. So all creation is involved in duality, two forces. So you simply have to ask which forces is causing my problem. Make sense? Now, the spectrum of my stomach cramps, gurgling, and weird noises. Ew. Well, it sounds like you either have gallbladder or pancreatic issues, and you're either fermenting or putrefying or whatever there. You know, again, get a picture of your eyes, take a look at the liver gallbladder area, look at the pancreatic area. The spectrum of my skin issues is so overwhelming to me that I am embarrassed to leave my house and haven't left actually in almost a year. I get that. Now, please, 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 please. When you take off, you want to take off on this detox. And if you're 24, shouldn't you have some self-discipline? You're young, take off on a 10, 20-day grape diet. Just eat nothing but grapes. Grapes, grapes, grapes. All kinds, I don't care. Just eat nothing but grapes. If you have the money, I would jump on the detox program. It takes right off after the kidneys, the adrenals, takes off after the lymph system, the gut, and all these other things. But, warning, 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 and you guys already know what I'm about to say, I'm sure, but it can get worse before it gets better. You have been suppressing all your symptoms, and now you're opening the door. So imagine you have a corral full of horses, and you keep putting more horses in there. It's like suppressing. You keep putting more horses in this little corral. Pretty soon, every horse is stepping on each other, and then you sling open the gates. I wouldn't be standing in front of the gates if I was you. I raise horses, so I can just tell you, I wouldn't be standing in front of those gates. Now, you can't keep them out. That's exactly what's happening to you. When you go into a raw food diet, it's going to start purging, and it's the body doing it, and it's going to start eliminating these acids through the process of hydration and ionization. And you're just going to see this whole process of the body starting to hydrate and creating an anionic environment, an environment of fluidity. And everything's just going to start moving out. You're going to get mucus flowing out of your head, mucus out of your mouth, mucus in your stools. And you want to see a lot of that. Not seeing your eyes, I don't know where you're at in the stomach, small bowels, colon, I don't know. But it's enough to say that your lymphatic system is backed up pretty good, and you can say factually that it's backed up interstitially in the gut wall. So I can tell you when you have skin problems, you're also malabsorbed at a certain point or other. So not only is it a pain in the ass to go through skin detox, you get skinny too. So it isn't all pleasant. But again, keep telling yourself, when you take your car, it's gotten wrecked, take it into a body shop, they're going to sand it down. It's not going to look too good for a little while. But let me guarantee you that once you make it through the body shop, you're going to have a beautiful, beautiful body. And you won't be afraid to go out and show it off. And you're going to have a body you feel good to use. You feel good in the body. It gives you back. Matter of fact, when your body gets so healthy, you shouldn't even know you have one, like a mind. You don't know you have a mind. That is so slick that where does thought and emotion and the physical all begin and end? Now, you can see where the physical ends and begins, but how about the emotional and the mind? Where do they begin and end? And there's several aspects of the mind. Oh, so subtle. It's like shifting gears in a car. The old days, you had to shift the gears. Now it's so smooth and automatic, you don't even know you're shifting gears. And that's what I'm saying to you. You don't even know when you're using your mind over your brain or your emotions. Pretty slickly done. Let me see. So when I was 21, I had done an 18-day water fast. That's a good start, which worked like a miracle. My skin was great, like never before. I was feeling ecstatic, no anxiety whatsoever. Just see what she did. See, and what you're going to do now is, that's not enough to cure this problem whatsoever. But you also want to pay attention to the kidneys and the filtration of the kidneys and, of course, the adrenals with what you're saying, the anxieties and things. So get them up. Get your kidneys filtering. Work on the kidneys with herbs. Work on your lymphatic system. Keep going. Use your eyes as a barometer. So whatever your lymphatic system shows, keep cleaning it until your eyes are either all light blue or light brown. Keep going until you can't go any further, That way, if you eat bad, you don't get the blowback. Right? It felt like if I was free of any ailments and healthy for the first time in a long time. And I know that feeling. And I'll tell you, a lot of people know that feeling now today because of all of you guys helping others. So it's a great feeling. And everybody deserves to have that feeling, don't you think? But you need to learn how to keep it. I can tell you're going to come on with me with some more here. Unfortunately, I knew that word was coming. That didn't last very long, and my problems came because you've got to keep going. You've got to fix this. You just started driving. You just started water fasting, which the body then is going to start, and that's evidence of how the body starts cleaning itself. But you really need to get, and that was cool that worked. But you really need to get. It's going to take you, give yourself 6 months at least, to really get in there and get the skin detoxing, get the kidneys filtering, all of that, the adrenals up, the bowels cleaned up. It just takes a while. You have miles of lymph. But don't feel depressed about that, because you did a good job here. And I think you did wonderful. And I think what it shows you is what you need to do to get your remedy, basically. So you're really on the right track here. You just got to dig in and keep going. As soon as I started to reintroduce more foods to my diet, absolutely. And you can tell which foods give you the blowback, can't you, honey? You absolutely can. I mean, I tell you, it's all in the action-reaction. If people were just watching when they eat, feeling the blowback from the diets and how their body feels when they eat different foods, and start watching things instead of thinking about things, it'll change you drastically. Pretty cool stuff, huh? All right, so but that's a given. You only did an 18-day water fast. So I mean, that's a long one. It's a good one, no question about it. But you want to keep working and working. Make sure your kidneys are filtering. Work with the herbs and stuff like that. Get your body hydrated. Keep working. That's all you got to do. I have tried water fasting again, but the results weren't the same as the first time. Well, this time you want to go in full bore. You're digging now. You're digging, and it's going to keep coming out for a while, and just keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. No matter what you see, my opinion, you keep digging and digging. We got a good balanced program, and if you get a little skinny, know that you had malabsorption, and there's nothing you can do about it that would be smart, except keep going. I know I should eat fruits now to let my body heal. Could you please tell me what else could I do to finally heal my skin? Well, that's what you got to do. But I would take the herbs. You can take the herbs from the skin, but you start off with our kids. The herbs for the liver gallbladder formula are skin herbs too. All the barbarous family, the Oregon grapefruit, the burdock, the dock families, they're all incredible for skin, tumors, livers, gallbladders. Oregon grapefruit, there's a pharmaceutical company that has a formula for psoriasis that's just Oregon grapefruit. So these are good things. But remember what system you're addressing and the components of that system. So looking at the components of the lymphatic system, we have 2 kidneys as a rule. Some of you have 3 and some of you have 1. But there are generally 2 kidneys as a rule, one for the left side of the body, one for the right side of the body. We all know that by now. Now, you've got a skin that wraps around the whole organ, and that is the largest kidney, of course. So these are your eliminative organs, and so the glands responsible for the skin is going to be the thyroid. The gland responsible for the kidneys are the adrenal glands. So you've got endocrine glands also systemically involved and systematically involved with this process as well. Then you got the lymph vessels, the lymph nodes, all the lymph fluids. Then you have all the immune cells involved in the lymph system. The macrophages, the bacteria in the immune system, like in any sewer system. Why would you kill your bacteria in your sewer system for? That's not smart at all. But that's what we're having to deal with here. So those are the kind of herbs I'd recommend. Look at the kit and go on the kit. Deworm yourself. You don't know. With cases like this, you could be wormed up. So you want to go in the first 2 weeks at least, and then if you see some worms or flukes or whatever unusual in the stool, do it again. I mean, you want to go after. If you've got worms and flukes in your body, go after them. Get your body detoxified. In the fungus, get the fungus out, or that skin's going to itch really bad. And Parasite M is great for the fungus. I do a dropper and a half, 3-4 times a day. I am a wreck of a person and suicidal. Last couple of years have been a disaster and horror to me, and the future doesn't look very appealing. Let me change that. Let me change that for you right now, dear one. You come to a place where the future is always bright and happy, not sad like the rest of the world. So there is a remedy for you very easily. It's not difficult. You might not like some of the symptoms on the road to well, but better than what you got going. But you can do this. There have been a lot of YouTubers that have done this. A lot of young guys and gals out there have cleaned their skins up following these programs, and I've never even talked to them. I just get their information from these letters. So it's enough to say you want to take off and get this done, because the skin is cells, and you start breaking down cells too much, now you're getting into the basals and squamouses and all the other crap, and you just don't want to go there. You just want to really get all these acids out of your body. Now, here's another thing. Depression. Remember the parathyroid gland. I would work on that. I would get a parathyroid glandular and take 2-3 times a day. They're 50 milligrams. On top of that, let me guess that you might want to do either the endocrine gland formula or the endocrine gland formula and the pituitary herbal formula. I don't know how short you are, whether you have a pituitary problem, but can't hoit to go after that gland as well, because you got to get out of this depression, and you're a young woman. You have no right to have depression there. You want to have babies without any postpartum depression. You want to be a happy young woman, and I guarantee you can get there if you'll just pull yourself in, just hang there and tight, Get yourself past your thoughts and hang in there and get on this journey, honey. And talk to Penny on Artie's site and all these sites. We got them up there for you to get to, and they'll help you. There are a lot of loving, compassionate people on our site, and they're waiting for somebody that they can help. So plenty of help for you, and learn what's up. Learn what the lymph system is and what acids are, and what you got to do to get well like that. But you can forget about your life is over. You're just beginning a new life. You found your home. Now you got to work it though. This is a place where the responsibility is yours. I'll walk with you, but the responsibility is yours. You created this unconsciously, and I'll help you uncreate it consciously. How about that one? I have no idea what to do anymore, as I don't want to go back to drugs. You don't. Where are you? They are poison. They are poison. What I've noticed is that moving my body helps a little, but it's a long way to final cure. I don't drink or smoke anymore. Kind regards. Well, when you move your body, of course, you're moving lymph, and that, of course, pulls the stagnation a little bit. But in time, at 24, at time, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse because you're not doing anything to fix the problem. And your body's continually producing acid metabolitic waste. So there's a no-brainer. There's no getting over it unless you correct the system. Because it's just, life is ongoing. It doesn't wait, Oh, I've got a tumor. Well, hang on, everybody. No, everything keeps going. Tumors keep growing. Acids keep compounding. That sort of thing. But love to help you, my dear one. No problem there. This is from Jan. Only awakened to reality recently. Dear Dr. Morse, I have only found you about a half a year ago, and you have opened my eyes completely.
Give me a Y, give me an E, give me an F. Yeah!
I bet you wish you never got that for me, don't you? Well, that's what this is about, my dear one. Health to me is real simple. I'm a God man. This is about you and awakening you to your divinity. That's all I really care about. The health side, I hate suffering. So this is a good doorway for humans to wake up, get their health back, and in their physical bodies, which will help their spirituality tremendously. It'll help them work through the karma that they've accumulated, and you're free, and you feel the freedom and the joy. And ain't it fun? Absolutely is. It's good to awaken. I would love to, and there's always another level of awakening too, for all of us. There's always another level and another level and another level. I would love to ask you a question and would greatly appreciate if you could have a look at my writing. My story briefly. As a little kid, I was pumped with antibiotics. These guys just lost their way. And of course, look at the millions of people they've harmed with the use of antibiotics. If they only knew the killing of the bacterium in the lymph nodes sets that patient up for nightmares in the future. Many times worse diet you can imagine. Sugar, soda all day, every day, fast food, all that stuff. Yeah, I know. And I used to drink the heck out of Pepsi. Never liked Coke. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper. Pepsi had those, I don't forget, they were huge, and they were like an 8-pack. When I was, 18 or something. God, now I look at those and go, oh my God, how did I handle the burn on? And lucky it didn't burn my stomach up. I mean, these things are 3 pHs, guys. These are the same, these acids, phosphoric carbonic acids, are the same pH as the phosphoric carbonic acids in your body. We're all talking around 2. I think uric acid probably is a little, like I said, a little hotter. So I'm going to say we're looking at acids systemically from 2.6, 2.65 to 3.1, 3.2. Hot. Ouch. So when you have arthritis, you have your fibromyalgias, your lupus, you have systemic acidosis, systemic stagnation of the lymph system. That's all that is. What that breeds, whatever it breeds. If you treat that, then see what happens. You end up with a lifetime of suffering because there's no remedy in treating these conditions. You simply have to understand what's causing it, what it really is, and how you back that up, and then you're free. Swimming in chlorine swimming pools for many years, chlorine through my skin, candida. At age of 8, a psychologist told my parents that my IQ is okay, but I have severe concentration problems. Will never get through high school, finished bachelor's with great hardship though. Currently at the age of 20, you're only 28. At age 12, my doctor found that my brain is clogged with uric acid, prescribed me a little diet and chlorella. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so let me go. I want to go back here. All right, at age 12, a doctor found that my brain is clogged with uric acid. I gotta ask you, how in the heck would a medical doctor know that the uric acid he's picking up in the blood comes from the head? He must know something we don't. But you're 28 years old, and let me say this to all of you guys and gals: upper circuit, brain, and nerve, upper circuit, brain, and nerve, and upper circuit, brain, and nerve. It will give you an edge. It will give you a heightened awareness. It will help you in every way: concentration, comprehension, everything you can imagine. It is cool. I tell you, I love those two formulas. So work with those. Now, uric acid and all these acids, of course, you just have to get out of the body. And there's only one system that gets rid of these acids. All right, so that's your kidney, adrenal matrix, your lymphatic matrix. So you want to go after that. And you're only 28 years young there. But I am now convinced that I have candidiasis and severe acidosis. Yeah, I'm sure. You know what? And that's not a far stretch to say that we all have some degree of all of that too. I mean, we do. We all have some degree. It's just, where are we? Bottom line is, where are we on that scale? Where are each of us on that acidosis, candida scale? If you have sulfur in the use of antibiotics, well, maybe she has. She might have a lot of sulfur in her gut. She has major candida problems. So it's the sulfur too. You've got to look at that sort of thing too. So you would want to see her eyes and see what's going on. But I kind of bet you, if this doctor said she had high uric acid as a young person, I'm going to guess candida for sure, and I'm going to guess she has sulfur accumulation in her gut. So this, if we get an eye, we'll see. She has severe acidosis, bad diet, chlorine, antibiotics, brain fog, concentration issues, mood swings, digestive issues, and mostly huge craving for all the bad food. Well, that's parasitic, no question. So getting a hold of the fungus will eliminate the craving for breads and cheeses, fermented foods basically. If you've got a craving for red meat, I'll submit to you probably have worms. But they're killable and they come out, that sort of thing. I have forever watched your program on YouTube, and I feel blessed for gaining some of your knowledge. I am very thankful. Oh, thanks, honey. Well, take off and apply that and get yourself straightened around here. Check your parathyroid too for depression and anything like that. Your pituitary and parathyroid. You guys get used to doing that. You are the premier healers of the world. Well, wait a minute, you didn't go to medical school or naturopathic school, so wait a minute, those guys can't cure anything anyway. You went to the International School of Detoxification. Now, I have done some lighter detoxes on fruit as you suggest. I am even ready to go 80% fruit in my diet. We'll go 80% fruit and then go the rest green drinks. If you have to cheat once in a while to keep your happiness, do that and keep on going. Just keep on going. And don't look back and don't regret anything. Just keep on going. Put your focus to the new you. The warrior woman, Jan. out of the God worlds to come give man some light and some wisdom on how to eat properly. I like that. That sounds good. Does it sound good to you, Jan? That sounds good to me. Warrior woman Jan comes into the physical universe helping mankind understand the proper way to eat and understanding how to have love. I love it. That would play together with the candida overgrowth. Well, you got a candida overgrowth. I'm telling you, if you use raw foods to try to get rid of it, use an herb, and get your kidneys filtering. That is key essential. However, I'm not sure how that would play together. Watermelon, grapes, berries, etc. are all sugary. Everything's sugary, honey. Not sugary, but everything is sugar. I mean, if you have a protein in front of you, that's what you want to avoid at all costs. You're always going to consume sugar. Everybody has to get with this. Carbon is the number one energy source in this universe, and burned as such. So you can't starve your body for carbon. You can do the, what was his name? He's dead now, thank God. But he had the high protein diet, the Atkins. I mean, so many people died under his ideas and theories. It wasn't even funny. That's a horrible thing. Come to the planet and kill a bunch of people from your misguided theories. That's not what we want. That's karmic. We don't want anything like that. I know that fructose is different and not as bad as regular sugar. Not as bad. You got a wrong thinking there. But what about the candida? Candida is about fermentation, not about sugar. It's about fermentation. You're talking about fungus. And fungus is a fermentation group. They're about fermenting sugars, fermenting fruits, fermenting vegetables. Even vegetables. No. Fermentation is about carbon-rich foods. So your fruits, your berries, your melons, and your vegetables go through fermentation. Your proteins, your beans, grains, things like that, more putrefaction. Although the grains probably more, a little of both. Because they're high sugars. All your grains are high sugars. But use Parasite M to go after the candida. Don't try to regulate that through foods. Berries, grapes, pineapples in combination with caprylic acid, folic acid. Why? Coconut oil, oregano oil. Oh, that stuff's hotter than heck. I've got an Amish guy. He's got some of the strongest oregano oil on the planet. Garlic oil and SBO probiotics. I recommend you don't do the probiotics. I recommend you don't do the folates. And I'd recommend you get on a fruit, berry, and melon diet. If the fruits are you have too much candida for the fruit, come down to green drinks. Hit the body with the herbs hard, the Parasite M, get rid of the fungus, get rid of this as much as you can, and then work yourself back up to the fruits. You might have to do that if you're heavily involved because fruits are very proactive. So you might have to come down a little bit to the green drinks. But you want to get there. 100% raw, I get myself right on up there and detox right on through here. As of now, I'm relatively healthy except for some metabolic issues. All right. Metabolic issues, however, I am sure that if I continue the way I have up until now, I will have a serious problem that may not even be reverted. I've never seen that. Although, that is true to a point. And we have some people with some tumors that we just can't get them out. But we can't, the lymph nodes, we can't see the condition of the lymph nodes. Even in the eye, it looks like there's a deterioration of the lymph nodes. And we just can't get them out. See, and this is some of the problems. There are some that are so advanced. They've destroyed their lymph nodes. Their lymph nodes have been hard all their lives. They've destroyed them. They've destroyed the bacterium in the body with the antibiotics. They've used the chemo to destroy cells further. I mean, people are getting themselves in corners that's difficult for even us, the miracle workers, even for us to get you out. So be very careful. You know, your choice that you make in any given moment can stay with you for lifetimes. That's why I like the awakened state over the unconscious state. I will have a serious problem then. Okay, we're going on there. I feel like my mental abilities are degrading steadily. Well, upper circuit, brain, and nerve. Get the sinuses opened up. Candeliers, 3 or 4 candles per year. Work on the neurolymphatic points. Go after the gut. Go after the lymphatic system. That'll clean everything up, and you will be on top instead of feeling like you're going to the bottom. Get on top of the world. You become the warrior woman, and you get on top of this and start controlling this. Get your body cleaned out. That's all you got to do, and get on down the road, and all this will go away. Even in your mind. I feel like my mental abilities are degrading with some, and they will degrade. Your neurological system will degrade. Everything will degrade until you fix it. Because no one is going to fix it for you. You notice that by now? No one on this planet has the answers for you except this group. And, there's always more answers to get. I mean, we're just turning a new page. Now we've opened the door for all kinds of questions and research and stuff. Better. So it's just one door opens and allows for more growth and things. So it's exciting. For the future, Through their treatment, what is your view on candida and all these sweet fruits? Candida is a fermentation. It's part of the fungal family. Go after the fungal family. Yeah, some people that have heavy candida get a strong blowback on the fruits, but it's not because of the sugars. Simply, if you get a blowback on the strength of a fruit, then you want to go down to the green drinks and add some fruits that you can tolerate and then keep going until you clean out, because even vegetables are sugar, honey. Hate to tell you, but vegetables are sugar too. It's an inferior sugar. Matter of fact, you're getting closer to the sucroses and dextroses and maltoses and all those. The fruits are the much more refined fructose. But you cannot stop doing any form of sugar thinking that'll help your candida, because that's a misguided, and you'll acidify yourself up big time by moving to the proteins, and then you will escalate toward death. Absolutely. No, go after candida as you would any microbe. Use herbs. Also, something you never talk about: water. Water. Isn't that pretty? Bed, bath, and beyond. Good water. Energized mountain water. All right, what water do you drink? Evian. Well, I don't drink Evian anymore. I drink, what is it? Escapes me right now. I got a million things going in my mind right now. What is the water I drink? It's from Italy. Italian water, but I've been by the plant in France of Evian, and that's right up in the Alps. This is all up in the Alps and stuff, so really, or close to the Alps. Really pure water, really good stuff. This is Pinna water, Aqua Pinna water from Italy. I like it energized mountain water. It just tastes so good and energy, and I love it, and alkalizing. Distilled water, RO water, it is acidic, and I think because back when I was growing up in this field, it was all distilled water, Dave Jensen distilled water, N.W. Walker distilled water, Bragg distilled water, they were all distilled waters. And research was done to see if any leaching would happen of the minerals of the body, because the medical doctors were going, it'll leach the minerals out of the body. We never saw anything like that. But in today's world where everybody's so acidic, and I've talked about this on other videos, that I really think that mineralized water is probably the best bet, just because it's so hydrating to the body. Because this is the big problem that we face, is extreme dehydration. Almost all of us is dehydrated at one level or another. That's what causes hair to turn gray, is dehydration. I was about to buy an expensive reverse osmosis filter. I have a whole house RO system. I got a good system this time. He gave me a good deal on it. His cost $6,500. Whole house RO though, and it's a good RO system. You can get some cheap RO systems for the house, but you'd be better off spending a little more money to go. And I would throw, we have a little calcium put in it too, just so that it doesn't eat too much of the pipes. Because remember, when you're devoid of chemistry, you're going to suck chemistry into you. Remember diffusion? So you're going to leach from your copper pipes. And you'll see that it can destroy things, metals and stuff, believe it or not, because it's devoid. So remember, you have ionization. You always have the flux of chemistry. So there's some of that to think about too, you know. But I love RO water at the house because you can wash everything in it good, feel good. The cars can wash in it and clean and no mineral spots. But drinking, I love energized mountain water. Until I found out about the dangers of using it. The water is so purified that it has no minerals left in it, so they call it the hungry or dead water because it is deprived of all minerals. Yes, it is. So is distilled water. That's what that's for, though. You know, the thought in detoxifying with distilled water, it actually helps to detoxify the body even better. So, I mean, there's thoughts on all these levels. It'd be nice to have some real research done on it to where one can factually make some of those statements. And maybe there has been, you know. I've been lost in my little world of trying to get this out there. But because water is devoid of minerals, that's not a big deal. You got to understand what water is. And what do we call water? The universal solvent. And it's a better solvent when it doesn't have minerals in it. Remember, hydrogen is a universal atom, and it's on the acidic side. So you've got hydrogen, which is always yanked out and converted and used differently in the body. But then what do you got? Oxygen. So you have two elements of hydrogen and one of oxygen, which makes it acidic. And then anything to alkalize it is going to be minerals and the like. Mm-hmm. This will cause the water to pull minerals out of your bones. That's not true. There has been a lot of research back in the old days about that, and none of that has ever been proven. So I don't think that is true whatsoever. All the research I've ever read about that, because it was a concern of mine too, and it was a concern of all the greats as well. You know, these things have been well thought out and well researched years and years and years ago. It's just that people today have not seen that. A lot of you guys have not read books and went back to the earlier days of some of these greats, and some of them were medical doctors, and they just tore this up with the proteins and everything else. But I think Tilden was a medical doctor. He wrote against the use of proteins and protein, we called it back then. A lot of things, you know, there's a lot of understanding and a lot of work poured into this level of understanding to get it to where you see it coming out of me today. There's a lot of generations to try to come to an area that should be natural intuitiveness. It also produces water that is acidic of pH 5 and less. Yes, we know that, honey. Then there is bottled spring water. 99% of them are reverse osmosis anyway. Yeah, but you don't get the reverse osmosis one. I don't buy reverse osmosis water. I mean, not reverse osmosis, but a lot of these are not reverse osmosis water. They're what's the other word? Not reverse osmosis. They're God, I can't think of the name of it, but they're definitely infused and stuff. Absolutely. And tap water that has a ton of chlorine and fluoride that only promote candida stiffen up all the organs. Yeah, come in. Come in. Hang on a sec. What is your take on finding the right water? Should it be the base of all health? Right. Well, definitely think you should have some water. However, your fruits and your berries and your melons are mainly water. So you really don't have a real need to drink a lot of water if you have a lot of raw foods in your diet. If you're high raw foodist, you really don't have a lot of thirst for drinking water. Again, I like energized mountain water. Just my thing. Because you're going to find a problem with everything. So figure out which one you want. But I don't know. I just recommend energized mountain water. But I've fasted and distilled water a lot in my life, and so has a lot of people. And there has never been any evidence of leaching of minerals from the bones. All right, just hang on one second. Can we talk in front of them?
I just want to check the
okay.
protocol.
Little red dot. Thanks, sweetheart. We'll get her.
Yes.
Go get her.
Yes, we
Get
will.
that energy up there, get that systemic thing going, and, pull her up out of that. I get a good chance. Good job, honey. I would greatly appreciate it if you could spend a couple of your precious minutes on this. Thank you very much. Sending regards all the way from Czech Republic. Well, Kobe. Much love to you, Jan. Yeah, absolutely. When you have candida, and most of us do at some level or another, all of us are going to have fungus and bacteria in the body. Don't think that these are bad organisms. They're not the problem. Who's the problem? Okay? Fix this problem, and then they won't be a problem. Watch what you're eating. Our society has pumped the fungal foods for generations. All these cheeses and dairy products are extreme fungal foods. Breads, anything that's fermented. Go back to this analogy. And you asked me about fruits, Jan. Take a handful of grapes and put them on your kitchen counter. Put some bread on your kitchen counter, white quicker, but any will do, and then put a piece of cheese. Which one is going to grow mold on it quicker? Because that's what you're looking for. You want a fungal food, and mold is part of that family. So which one's going to grow mold on it first? The cheese or the bread? It's going to be a race between those two, right? Because they're already part of the fungal family. However, grapes won't get fungus on them or mold on them until what? Until they start to ferment. They start to die. Because remember, these microbes are interfacing between structure and the atom. And we need atoms. Remember that? This is an atom rearrangement universe. This isn't, I want new atoms. Put my order in for 10 trillion new atoms, please. That doesn't happen. We got to play with the atoms we already have given. So this is like a Lego. You're rearranging and rebuilding and rearranging and rebuilding. That's why you have to have birth, life, and death. Things have to give up their atoms, whether it's a plant, animal, or humans, as well as minerals. Things have to give up their atom structures so new structures can be built. You cannot be built anything without Lego pieces, and those are the little atoms of life. The building blocks of life, right? So I hope that helps you, and I hope that you can get on with that. Some of this, just get upper circ, brain, and nerve, take off with the kidney filtration, get the adrenals, clean the bowels out, and get honking. I highly recommend, Jan, you focus on the parathyroid as well sometime during this journey. Wow. I can't pronounce your name. I wish I could. Last name Soto, S-O-T-O. Message. I've got my thyroid removed 9 years ago and take Synthroid. The whole gland was removed. The medication gives me side effects like foggy mind, low appetite, diarrhea, always cold, lack of sleep, and others. Is there a natural way that I can treat my body without medications? Well, I tell you what. Of course, we don't hit the red button. Got another one. Hang tight, dear. Forgive me, sometimes my office is a little Grand Central Station here. Especially when they see I'm here, it's like, oh. I've told this story before, but I had one lady that had a little bit of a nubbin left for the thyroid, and I was able to get that thyroid grown back. I don't know to what level that can be done, but if I'm you, and I know what I know, I'm going to be 100% raw foods. I'm going to try to get myself up as high up on the fruit, berries, and melons as I can live for a while. I'm going to take about a 150 milligram glandular of raw thyroid tissue, because there'll be stem cells and everything in there, and hopefully there'll be some bump on anything that could produce a new thyroid for you. I really believe, and there was a medical doctor that told me one time that it is now suable if they remove your thyroid gland. I don't know how true that is, But this idea of killing a thyroid because it's hyperactive or it has some polyps in it is just, these people are just out to lunch. So you have 2 thyroid glands. Do you have both removed? And how about your parathyroid glands? See, those are big deals too. That's your calcium utilization glands. Without the thyroid, you're always going to be cold. And I don't think synthroid. See, the thyroid also produces calcitonin. And they never give you calcitonin. And that deals with the bones. So it's just it's children that are mad scientists that have no scientific understanding that are mad. When you go cutting people's thyroids out and things out, it's cool that you can do it. We all can become surgeons. Anybody can become anything they want to be. So it's not a big deal you became a surgeon. Okay, good. Although I do love that one that can totally rebuild a face. I mean, these are the best of the best. But in your field, you want to be the best in your field, don't you? I mean, I never wanted to be the guy in the back of the room, in the back of my field. No, you're here to go back to God, the experiences of your journey. So why not give a heck of a journey? That'd be the only way I know to get that going. Because Synthroid, that's just, I'm amazed they even give you Synthroid or levothyroxine or whatever. I guess if I was you, I would probably, at the very least, go to Armor. That's a natural, T3 or T4? I would definitely go to natural Armor. It is a natural hormone where Synthroid is synthetic as levothyroxine. But, brother, I'd go after my body. I would go after why I lost the thyroid in the first place. If it was hyperactive or you had a goiter, that's your lymph system. If it was hypoactive and full of tumors, that is your lymph system. So I'd be going after my body lymphatically and trying to inspire a new tissue growth. Not saying it's possible with you. I'm saying you have to have a little bit there, I would think. But it's sure worth the try, ain't it? Sure is. I would. But you got to get your body in a state of wellness. You can't just take a few thyroid pills and say it's going to grow back. I'm talking about you got to get in at these high levels of regeneration. You can't, it's obvious you can't regenerate when your body is acidic. Not well. People do, but not well. You want to get up. You're talking about an organ that's been removed. Or a gland, actually. That's worse yet. You want to get way up there on the raw. I can just tell you, when you're way up there, you see things you've never seen before in the human body. You've seen healing. It's so rapid. We've talked a lot about that. It's amazing. It is friggin' amazing. That's where I think you would have to go to replace tissue that's been removed. That's all I know to say about it. I've given you cases, showing you as many cases as we can, and you guys have seen cases now, and it is friggin' amazing what the body can do. For me, I've yet to see the top of what the human body can do. And I'm excited with you guys because you guys are going to be the ones that show the world what you can do. And so be one of those guys to show the world what you can do. Alrighty now. Ooh, okay, pituitary and transverse colon, etc. Alright. Alright. Hello, Dr. M. Thanks for saving us from the lies and deception of the medical and pharmaceutical communities. Isn't it true, though? I mean, these guys are crazy. If they weren't, their theories would be workable. I've been on a quest for optimum health for 30 years. Here we go, man. And during that time, have found nothing that resembles your message of hope and healing. Absolutely. And like I said, I've seen some pretty high heights of this, but you guys are actually digging in deeper than I ever did. So some of you guys are just getting way out there in your levels of health. It's just fantastic to watch. I think there's going to be, and don't feel bad if it comes in your life where you feel like you need to balance out, because it just seems this way with spirituality. There's a certain saturation you get until you kind of get a homeostatic used to feel. I don't know what I want to say here other than you've got to get somewhat used to channeling higher energies, and channel higher energy, then higher energies, and higher. If I suddenly just said, here's the light of God, bam, you wouldn't be here. You would not be here. So, increments. And even in increments, it can kick your butt. You're talking the creator of all things. You're talking the power of all things. So, you talk a lot about the pituitary, and through iridology you can determine that the state of that gland by looking at the transverse colon, big time, and also with the pineal gland as well. Also notice that the radius solaris that you can notice, those radiating lines come right out of the bowel. And I just was looking at one here with Natalia about this created a spastic bowel right down to the stomach. And I mean, it's like that part of that colon was removed. So, that part of the colon could be this big around, and that's the colon. I mean, it's amazing how people get food passed through some of these byways, because the colon gets twisted and turned and thin because you acidified it, and it's full of mucus and acids, and it's lost its integrity. Sometimes I just see a dark area that's the GI tract around the pupil, and it's just dark. It's like the nola cutis too. It's just dark. It's like the bowel lost its vitality and is just darkening away, fading away from life. That's why the raw foods are so vital, because they bring in vitality and life again into tissue. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, here's the problem. I feel like I cannot be helped because my intestines are malrotated. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, my friend. I was born that way, yeah, I bet. Listen, the state of man's GI tract is so involved and so advanced, the average person would be shocked to see the average pictures of what most colons look like in today's world. Jensen is one, and I admire Jensen for this because he always put pictures in his books. I always admired that. Good men. And so you can see some of the colons that are out there. And in iridology books, he shows you how it looks in the eye. I mean, he was a master. No question at that. There is no transverse ascending or descending colon. Well, I don't care. That won't affect the pituitary. It's just that when we see that part of the bowel, when that part of the bowel goes, it takes the pituitary with it. I'm going to say these two words, embryonic and symbiotic relationships to all tissues the gut has. So you always have to go to the gut. And natural health people have known this, at least some of this, for 100 years, because the focus, even V.E. Irons Company have had bentonite and psyllium and all that for the bowel 50 years ago. So we've looked at the GI tract for 100 years and knowing how important. It's just that no one thought to look at the filtration of the kidneys. That is where the key is. It's key is also getting the bowels fixed up. No question about that too. But you see, these things go into a person's wellness. You're always going, and if anything, these videos, I hope, shows you what part of the body needs to be focused on in all of us. Those parts that are genetically just hanging by a thread, in my opinion. When you guys come and I tell you got good strong constitutions, go out and have a party. The large bowel is shoved over on the left side of the abdomen, and the small bowel on the right. Oh, that's interesting. That is highly interesting, isn't it? I tell you, the genetic mutations of things is highly interesting, and it is. There's a point where when you're in a genetic family like that, they need to quit having babies, because you're going to get mutated babies so bad. Is that fair to the souls coming in? See, I think that is not fair at all of us humans to create these mutated bodies for these beautiful souls coming in, and look at the experience they're stuck with. Multiple surgeries. Look at the girl I keep bringing up without a face. She's had 30-some surgeries, and she still doesn't look good. If I was that soul, let me go so I can go get me another body. But we fear death. Well, we don't. But man tends to fear death. I saw in this church thing one time, the big arc billboard thing. To fear God is to know God, or to know God is to fear God. And so I go, what? But I tell you where I'd be working. I'd be working on my endocrine glands, specifically pituitary and what? Parathyroid gland. I'd be wanting to get my connective tissue straightened around. I'd just be wanting to see where my body could go with all this. When you get up on your body, I'd be 100% raw. I'd love to see where your body goes with this, because your body can fix itself. I mean, I don't know about moving one bowel over to another bowel and all that, but I've seen some things the body does, and it's like, what? Huh? How can the body take a bone that's healed like this, a leg that's healed like this, 28-degree angle, see it on the x-ray, I should get the x-ray and show you, healed like this, right, overnight, straighten and equal with the other leg. And the back, same time, the back, extreme severe scoliosis, pulled itself straight overnight. If that ain't a wow, I don't know what is. When I saw that, of course I knew how you could take the body, but nothing like that. I knew we had found the system that is the only one to regenerate the human body at these levels. Now we can probably improve it, but we have the foundation, which is really good. So it's amazing what the human body can do under the alkaline dominant sky. Under the acid sky, it becomes quite obvious what can happen. Deterioration. But we shouldn't be shocked with that, because chemistry tells us that acids are corrosive. It's just the medical doctors believe we're in a state of alkalosis. It's like, what? So did the chemist here, and I told you about him until I proved to him that he's not in a state of alkalosis, he's in a state of acidosis. It's like, are you serious? I mean, that's the problem when you learn wrong theories in chemistry. Not every theory out there is accurate. But an unusual body you have, my dear one. Also, the doctor discovered this when did exploratory surgery. Oh, what? He thought my intestinal pain was appendicitis. When he opened me up, he discovered the malrotation, which wasn't the cause of the pain. He also discovered a hernia in my small bowel, which he fixed. So see that? Right there's another little tidbit of evidence, guys. Right there, another tidbit of evidence that we're dealing in connective tissue, parathyroid, and maybe pituitary problems, both. They're highly suggestive of that. So see how we pick up these little bitty things that give us a little more insight. But I already thought you got to go connective tissue. While he was, see, he didn't fix it, but he probably sewed it up or whatever. You got to go after your connective tissue in your body. While he was at it, he removed my perfectly good appendix. Yeah, I know it. That, you know, I don't get that. They do it when they do a woman's hysterectomy too. They love to get in there and remove stuff, and it's like, well, I want that. You know what? I don't know what to say about that. It's just part of what we're dealing with here in this medical world. Just for the heck of it. Yeah. Since then, I've had 2 surgeries to remove thick, dark, tedious adhesions. Absolutely. See, that's the problem when you're going under surgery, under the knife, and this acidosis, this extreme acidosis that we're all in, adhesions and scar tissue. And that's just another proof of acidosis and weakness. All these are just proof, all leading to the same center cause. How cool. We can prove what we do. There's so much of it that it fills my entire abdomen and weighs heavily on my intestines, causing blockages and have come close to death. You know, bro, 100% raw, and I would pop a grape diet. I'd go a grape diet for a good 20 days, 30 days, and start getting on 100% raw foods. Start thinking about regeneration. All right, so first, before you get to regeneration, you got to think, how can I appropriately and properly clean my body out of all these acids, break up these scar tissues and adhesions? How can I do this? Well, I know to break up scar tissue and adhesions, I have to strengthen behind it, because your body's not going to let go if the weakness still exists. That's why they exist in the first place, is because of the weakness in tissue. That's what I was saying to you earlier. Whenever you do surgery into highly acidic areas, that area is highly weakened. And your body's going to scar or adhesion up for that. It's protective measurements. I find that at least you can scar and get adhesions from that. Now, I've been on the fruit detox 2 months, and I've had tremendous soreness in my abdomen. I wouldn't doubt it. I can't even tell you what all you could experience in the abdomen with this sort of thing going on. I can't even tell you, because the memory of your cells are going to start coming in beyond the genetic memories. So they're set to where the bowel should be. So I don't know. You know, you're going to have to show us all what's going to happen to you. You'll be a guinea pig. We're all guinea pigs. At least we're the right kind of guinea pigs. Wow, man, this is amazing, but not the kind of thing that lands me in the ER. I'm going to remain hopeful and venture to say that the fruit is tearing it up. It is. You know, you're interfacing with highly acidic zones here. So if you want to, come down to the green drinks, but parsley, dandelion green, beets, that sort of thing. You could do a little of that as well. I would also do a little fresh applesauce with red delicious apples and some cinnamon. You might want to sip the stomach tea, you know, because you got a lot of good herbs in there for acidosis, which is what the pain is, but also to correct, to enhance. What are your suggestions to get rid of this huge burden once and for all? Clean and strengthen. The two words that describe everything on the planet that you can do to be well. Clean and strengthen, tone. And in that process, I want you to think of your pituitary and parathyroid gland. You want to go after that. Because it sounds like you got some work to do. I would love to see your eyes. You mind getting a picture of your eyes and sending it to us and mark it, man with rotated bowels? I would love to see your eye pics. I would love. Not that you could determine rotated bowels from the eyes, but I would really love to look at your eyes. Then I could give you a bigger insight to some of this stuff. I live in fear of another surgery and the lateral hellbill of recovery. I know, man. I feel for you. I do. God. That's why I'm trying my damnedest. And until I pass, I'm going to be out there trying to help man. And with your guys' help, we can do it. And help these poor souls before they even get to this doorway. You know, medical doctors have gotten so many of these people. I was talking a little while ago, not only about the deaths from the allopathic community, but the maiming, and this is a good case of maiming. Now, I realize that there are some people that push their stuff so far that there's no choice. So, I get that. But I'm sure in 8 times out of 10, we can go in and fix it and need no surgery whatsoever. I started taking smart man. You guys are getting smart. I started taking parathyroid, and I'm presently on kit 1. Just a few more issues include poor sleep. All right. Add the pituitary formula with that one. You'll be more successful. And I would take a pineal glandular, 1 or 2 capsules, 1 or 2 hours BS before sleep. Because your pineals, that's just telling me that your pituitary pineal's down. Poor sleep? Absolutely. So you got both of those things down there. So I would take a glandular for that, not the pituitary. I'd use the herbal formula for the pituitary and a glandular for the pineal. Look at this, poor sleep, which was improved greatly by eating fruit only. Isn't that cool? And yet fruit's giving him more energy. Should have kept him up, right? No, it's not a stimulated energy. It's dynamic cellular energy. That's health, peaceful, quiet, strong. All good. Loss of smell and taste. Well, you just have to clean your sinuses out and get this all cleaned out, and you'll get that back. I've had people who hadn't had a sense of smell and taste all their life and got it right back for them. Just have to clean the olfactory. Just clean the sinuses, the head area, get that out of there. When I started the detox, I was 115 pounds. Now I'm 100 pounds. And get this. Is this a female? I can't tell you whether this is a female or a male. Can't tell you. But I can tell you this. How good are we? 5 foot 3 inches. Pituitary. Yeah, pituitary, pineal gland. Absolutely. So you want to go after them. This is a good case right here. So you go after your pituitary. At the same time, use your pituitary with your parathyroid. That way you get the PTH bump and you get the bump on the parathyroid. So you get your pituitary bump and your parathyroid bump. At the same time, keep moving these acids out. Do this for about a month. Stop it. Go a month without it. Repeat it the next month. In other words, and you could add the Bones formula with it. Or a superfood blend. Anything that's very, very high in calcium, that can be good. While you're pulling the ringing in the air, you'll get that pressure out of you. Hair loss since age 20. Hair loss since age 20. So that just shows us that you're highly involved in the head, lymphatically speaking. Since 20. Actually, probably all your life you've been backed up. Childhood depression. We're right at the parathyroid. His symptoms are telling us right where to go. It's probably why his bowels were so out of it. The parathyroid gland right there. Wow. Rheumatic fever at age 3 and treated with a lot of penicillin. All right. So you could have a lot of sulfur, meaning a lot of fungus in the body too on top of all of this. Yeah, you might want to tell Parasite M for a little while. Depression has improved greatly since fruit detox. Isn't that cool? But you got to fix this like you're doing. Smart person, you're on your parathyroid. Pick up that pituitary. Remember the poor sleep? All these symptoms just pull us right in to where the problems are, right? And we can look, oh, look, he's got, see how it's done? Just like that. It's either the fruit or the fact that you've given me hope. It's a fruit. And maybe the other too. More than hope, bro. More than hope. Do it. I'm one of those guys that do it. It's either, okay, could these issues be a result of the screwed up intestines? No, vice versa. I'd say the screwed up intestines is the result of thyroid and pituitary, parathyroid and pituitary problems. I thought that the minute I read that. Your connective tissue is way out of balance. So, and everything else, the depression, everything focuses right in. Isn't that cool? You've got medical doctors, psychiatrists have been to school for how long and paid how much that don't know how to fix depression. And you guys do. Is that cool or what? I mean, that is not cool in the sense that these poor guys can't cure it, because that's a sad thing, sticking people in antidepressants and half of them committing suicide and then killing other people too. You know, all these school shootings and all that, they linked some of it to every one of them was on antidepressants. Every one of them, including the movie star's son, who he killed some people doing something a while back. So, TJ, I think you've got your answers there, man, or a woman. I don't know what you are, but it's enough to say that you want to go after that pituitary gland. You want to go after the parathyroid. You want to go after the kidneys, get them filtering, get this drained out, fix this upper circuit, brain and nerve, upper circuit and brain and nerve. You don't have any tumors, so you could use lower circulation as well. I think lower circulation would help get the kidneys filtering better and quicker. Now this is from Linda. Lymphedema. No. Dear Dr. Morse, my name is Linda and I am from Sweden. I've only just started eating fruit. I was stuck in the fruit is sugar way of thinking before. Oh. Yeah, you know, it's sad that we have that kind of propaganda on the planet. Fruit is sugar, but vegetables are not. You know, so it's just learning facts. That's all it is. It's just learning facts. There's so many people willing to spout off concepts and ideas from others, but without facts. And that just makes those of us that know the facts are like, what? But I now know better, and my kidneys have started filtering, and I feel great. I'm doing great fast now. Woo-hoo. Thanks for spreading the word about fruit. I'll keep spreading the word. Thank you, Linda, dear one. I tell you, sweetheart, good woman, good woman. But isn't that ridiculous? Fruit's for us to eat. But I will agree, we could sure treat the trees a lot better. Don't over nitrogen fertilize them, and pick those fruit ripe. And oh, yummy, yummy, I've got love in my tummy, because I'm about to have a lot of love in my tummy. I've got mangoes just ready, and I mean some of the best mangoes in the world. I can't wait. Now I'm stuck with those little golden mangoes because I'm just a week or so away. And I've got a couple, but they're sitting on the counter, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like, eh. All right, so let's look at this. My name is Linda. I'm from Sweden. Now to my question. I have a friend who has lymphedema, and she just underwent surgery for this. The surgery took away most of her pain in the legs. Oh my God. You know what? I'm literally amazed that when you see lymphedema in the legs, the first thing a medical doctor doesn't say, because I know all the old medical doctors knew it. So for these new modern medical doctors not to understand this, I don't get this. When you see lymphedema in the legs, your very next thing out of your mouth is kidney failure. That's the next thing out of your mouth. When you see someone with club feet, highly edemic, the next thing out of your mouth is, oh, you're in kidney failure. I don't get that. But when you have lymphedema anywhere in the human body, you have kidney failure. The failure of the kidneys to filter. You have to look at what level of creatinine in your blood work you're at. You can actually be at a 0.6 and still not filter. Thank you, God. But after a while, you're going to head right on up because the kidneys are going to go down. And so whenever you see lymphedema anywhere, you guys remember the adrenals and the kidneys. Those are two must-do focuses if you want to get any remedy at all. The second thing, I'd sweat, especially if you feel like you're getting in trouble with it. I would go to a steam, not a far infrared, I'd go to a steam sauna and I'd get my butt a sweating. And if my basal temperatures are too low, I'm popping a glandular on the thyroid or the thyroid herbals, and I'm going to get my basals up to where I can sweat. I need to get rid of these acids, because lymphedema isn't just water swelling, is it? It's a retention of acids is why the edema. You don't get edemic, as far as I know, with the tension of base. These are electrolytes. You get edemic with the retention of acids. That's possible way, way up in lye and stuff like that. You might get a little edemic from that, since it is a burn. But whenever you see that, immediately kidney and adrenals and lymphatic, you're going to go right after that. Anytime you see a lymphedema anywhere, and I used to get it all the time because they used to take these lymph nodes indiscriminately, not just a sentinel node. They used to take it indiscriminately. So the lymphedema cases in the years past from the ladies in the arms were nightmares. Now they're a little smarter that way, but not always. And lymphedema is not good. Remember I told you about the one where they removed her kidney? She came in and her right leg was this big around. She lived in her van in McDonald's and Walmart parking lots because the AMA took all her money trying to fix her. She had no money left, and all she could do is live in her van, and her right leg, they took her right kidney out, and major lymphedema. I didn't see her but the one time. I'm sure she died in her van in a parking lot, probably McDonald's parking lot. Local lady dies in van eating McDonald's foods. You know, that's sad stuff. I can tell you right now, we as humans do not respect each other and treat each other right, and that's a sad thing because we all come from the same source. We're all beautiful beings in our own right, but we... Now, the surgery, let me see, and I wonder what kind of surgery they did for lymphedema. Now that scares me right there. I mean, they generally use sequential leg pumps and things like this for lymphedema. Surgery for lymphedema in the legs? That's scary. I can't wait to hear this one. And she has another surgery planned this autumn for her backside and arms. No! Whoa, whoa, whoa! This little girl's going to get herself in major trouble here doing all these surgeries just for lymphedema. I don't know how No! She says lymphedema is incurable. Oh, no, 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 no. You need to let her watch this video. She's been lied to. She's been lied. Matter of fact, there's a medical doctor. His wife has a healing center right down the road here. Her husband's a medical doctor. They're from Canada. She came to my class years ago. He kept coming in and out. He's out buying real estate. I've got to give him a lot of hugs and talked with him a lot. He came in one day, gave me a big hug, and he said, I just cured lymphedema. He says medical doctors don't cure lymphedema. He's in a practice with 7 other physicians. And he said they all just had their mouths wide open. Couldn't believe it. They don't cure lymphedema, but we do. Now, here's a serious, serious problem of lymphedema. That is on the other side of removed lymph nodes. And if this girlfriend of yours had her lymph nodes removed to fix lymphedema, these guys should go to jail. You know, that's where you get lymphedema, is when the lymph nodes get clogged up. They can't filter to the kidneys anymore. It all backs up, just like any sewer system would. And I tell you what, this I don't like what you're saying right here. This surgery for lymphedema, this is scary stuff. There's lymphedema centers all around the world because you have elephant legs, you've got all kinds of things out there in lymphedema world. And they're all knows the lymph nodes and stuff, but they don't understand the kidney connection, the skin connection, and all that. You guys need to be of a higher order. And this poor thing, I would put a little bit of a rethinking of the other surgery and start taking care of my kidneys and everything, because I don't think this is on the other side of lymph nodes, although her lymph nodes could be deteriorated. I mean, there are some scary things about this one. Okay? She says lymphedema is incurable. She's brainwashed. And she thinks she knows everything there is to know about the lymph system. Oh, that vaguely is familiar. I know a lot of people who think they know everything, too. There's a lot out there. I once married into a family that they knew everything. Oh. It's hard to have a conversation with those people because they know everything. They don't give you proper listening. They don't, because they know everything. They think what they're going to say while you're talking. I know, they're out there. But she's the one getting hurt by this. She's getting hurt by her own ignorance, and she has to come up out of that. And sometimes we have to suffer until we go, well, maybe I better check out and see if what I believe is true. Because that's not true whatsoever. She knows everything about the lymph system, or does she? I bet she read it online, and she read the allopathic view of it. She won't listen to anything I have to say about kidney filtration, and she works her ass off and has a lot of stress in her life, so her adrenals are probably very tired. Is this a lover, or is this a friend, or whatever? But I can just about tell you, you're going to have to sit back and don't stress yourself out, because this is one that's not going to listen. So I would just let this one enjoy the fruits of her labor. And when she gets bad enough, she'll go, hey, what were you saying about that? Because you'll wear yourself out and bring your own adrenals down by trying to help her that doesn't want any help. See, I don't help anybody anymore that don't want it. I could care less. I'm only here for those that want it. And so are you guys. If you don't want help, say la vie. Take a ride on the railroad to nowhere. Because Why waste our time with anybody that doesn't want help? Okay, you're not mature enough. You're not ready enough. It's not an insult. It's just, okay, next. There's plenty of people suffering that need help, that want help. If I try to talk to her, we just start to argue. I'd forget it. Forget it. Don't even let that become a part of your relationship problems, or it will be. And just realize that there are some people that will not awaken in this lifetime, or maybe the next few. That's okay. Who cares? They can't get hurt. They're still just God expressing themselves. But it's fun to awaken, and it's fun at least to some heights, and to travel, and to learn how big of a being you each are. And just how big are you guys, and how much do you really know, and how much can you cruise the galaxies at will? How much have been hidden about yourself? So this is fun stuff. But had a ton of these people in my world too, and we all have. And as far as I'm concerned, see ya. Because it's better that you work on yourself and be happy and just give her love. Just give her love, and say, I love you, man. If you don't listen, I can't help you. Because you don't want to tear down what you know to be true. And especially while you're getting your own knowledge and your own awareness. Okay, I tried. Next, who else might I be able to help? Because you'll find someone that's looking for your help. That's the problem with lymphedema. A lot of people think it's incurable. But medical doctors are responsible for this brainwashing bullcrap. They can't cure anything, so no one else can either. That's the mentality. Sorry, guys, got news for you. We've got a whole YouTube site of people that are curing people of things you can never do. I love it. You guys are amazing beings. Yeah, her adrenals are probably pretty tired too, I'd say lead by example. That old saying, lead by example. Because she's not going to listen to you yet. She might down the way, but they could get this. I don't know what kind of. I'll be really interesting to see what type of surgery they're doing for lymphedema. That's nothing but scary, because if they remove her lymph nodes, she's in big time trouble. You start removing lymph nodes, there's some things we can't even do. She only but I don't see. I'm going to see here, and she gets pissed off. I love my friend, and I really want to help her, but I don't see how I can. You can't, and that's okay. Don't let that be a point of non-friendship either. And I know you won't, but there are some times you change your friends. You do. I changed all mine, and it just you can't be around the same people that don't want to grow, because it keeps you down. It gives you frustrated because you found the answers to some neat stuff, and you're excited about it, and you just want to help others. Don't let that excitement be torn down by those that are pig-headed and don't want to listen and are stubborn and that are closed off. Let them enjoy the fruits of their labor as you enjoy the fruits of your labor. See, don't let anybody take down your happiness. You're a way shower. You're a representative of the divine, of all life. You're helping all life get better. Amazing. So if they don't want it, next. Don't let it bother you one little bit. She's still a good friend. She's not a friend because she has lymphedema. She's a friend because you like to interface with her. When that becomes a problem where you can't because of her attitudes, then time to say you are a good friend. Gotta go. You don't want to bring yourself down. You work too hard to get happy and get yourselves healthy. Don't let others bring you down. Get your strength back. Get your power back. Especially you ladies. This world has taken a lot of power out of the female principle, and I'm here to help you get it back. And we've got some other warrior women here, and you'll find out who. And they are big warrior women. Come out of some interesting places to be here. I can't tell you yet. Wow. Powerful stuff coming, guys. This is powerful. If I try to, okay, all of that. All right, maybe if you tell us about patients and lymphedema, that is now cured up. Plenty of them. We cure lymphomas. I don't want to use that word to give you a wrong impression, because we don't cure diseases. They don't exist. If you've been diagnosed with with a lymphatic cancer, which they all are, simply means that your lymphatic system is the system that the cancers are in. Well, bottom line is it's the acids that are, you know the whole story. So, but it's a lymph system that is the remedy of this, but it's the lymph system that's the one of tumors. And it's simply, that's the one that blows back on the cells. The blood doesn't blow back on the cells. If you can find another system in there, let us all know. I don't think you will. But there's plenty of cures of lymphedema. However, again, the scary part of this, if she has deteriorated lymph nodes, she's in trouble. And if they're removing lymph nodes, she's in even bigger trouble. And tell her, for me, that if they're removing lymph nodes to fix a lymphedema, she's sentencing herself to death. And a painful one at that, because no one can help her. You know, when you cut out the lymph nodes or they deteriorate, you're in big trouble. Because the blowback is on your cells, and structure and function is your cells. So, I'm just saying, if you want the physical body to be well, you have to learn the rules of the road. You have to learn the rules of creation. Not the rules of medical thinking. They're theory-based. The rules of nature. That's chemistry and physics as much as we can provide. Not the theories of chemistry and physics. What we know to be true and actualities of chemistry and physics. There's theories everywhere. And most of them don't hold anything. So, that's what I'd be doing. But don't you lose an ounce of sleep over her. Okay? Give her love. If you want to do this another way, thanks, lots of hugs. And the same to you, my dear. Another way, I was mentioning it on another video, but another way you can work on your friends without physically working on them. Remember, we all have mental bodies. We all have the ego. We all have, that's called the etheric body. We all have it. That's the individualized self. The yellow is the one, the beginning of the one. As the one manifests itself in individualities, that's the ego, the id. Id is the individuality of the individual. Accentuated, you see what the ego does. Humility is a good state to get past this plane. Then you get the blue, the universal mind. That's where all minds, all our individual minds come out of this big mind. This is the cosmic consciousness realm. The fifth plane, the Buddha, all of this, the Christ consciousness. Down below that's the causal mind. Akashic records, past, future. This is the time track as you know it. You don't have time in these worlds as you can perceive it. In the causal, you have the time track. You have what appears to be the future and appears to be the past. In these areas, it all becomes one. And then you have the astral emotional body, and then you have the physical body. And so, we all have a mind. We all have an astral body, and that's before we get the physical body. These bodies come in before you get a physical body. This physical body is obviously the last body out. So you can communicate to her emotional body, to her astral body, and you can communicate to her mental body. And I would go into a contemplation, a meditation, image her, call her, see if she'll come to you, or you go to her, and you have a conversation. And you can do that at night when she's sleeping, and she'll be receptive when she doesn't realize it. And have a conversation with her. Get used to working with your friends on the inner worlds. That's where the masters work. And where a lot of you guys work and don't know it yet. Attila's been visiting you guys, probably don't realize that yet. Marcy has. They've had out-of-body experiences and been helping you guys. Fun stuff. Fun, great stuff. So you might want to work more on the inner planes with her and then watch it manifest on the outer, and someday she'll walk up and say, you know, what was this you were saying? But I would just ignore her now. I wouldn't say another word about it. Drop it. Drop it like a hot potato. Like you don't even care anymore. And she complains about her lymphedema, don't respond. You have the answers for her. She doesn't want them, so don't give her emotional sucor over her poor lymphedema, because that's feeding her ego. Don't do that. Well, you created this, which she did, and now you just simply have to learn to uncreate it. I'm sorry, but I'm your friend. I'm still your friend. All right? Now, this is from Wanda. What was the name of my first wife? Wanda. That's an old-fashioned name, isn't it? But we're from the country. Stuff running out of head. Stuff running out of head. What's that joke? Calling someone up, is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it. Dear Dr. Morse, been following you for some time. Did the 14-week protocol. Did the 14-week protocol some better. Then just recently went on another one under someone who trained under you. Did I lobby? Did a 6-week grape fast. Within the 3rd week, ears started to drain, then got real bad, running down face, back of head, got sores in it, and it also drained. This has been going on now for 3 weeks. Depression has set in. Bad, have other issues, but this is the worst for me now. Please help me. God bless and thank you. Well, you're going to find this interesting, Wanda, but I'm going to recommend you kind of break your fast right now. I'm going to recommend that you start eating some cooked foods. You know, some steamed vegetables and some salads, and see if you can stop everything right now. Now, you also have another choice. Ramp it up. This time, go back on the 14-week protocol, or have one of us make it up for you. At least get a month or so. Hit a grape diet, and head out again. Head out again. You know, the thing is, when you get too aggressive and too much, you can start the body in a detox mode, and then everybody's running. Remember, we've got mouths of sewage and mucus and everything else, and this stuff's going to start pouring out of everywhere. The fact that it's coming out, I can't tell you how good that is. But there's a point where it can take you down. So if you get real tired of this, you got to stop it. So to stop detox, which is obvious, to stop healing, you just got to start eating cooked food. Right there shows you. You know, you have to stop your healing. You have to go back to eating the crap you did before. But don't go that far back. Start eating cooked vegetables and things like that and salads, and see if you can put a slow down on this. Because the other choice you have is to go aggressive the other way and run through this. Keep going and plow through it, because it will stop. I don't know which I'm in favor of. Me, I like to plow through because I don't like to stop. When you're eliminating at this level, but you're getting depressed and things about that, I don't like that. So your body's probably had enough of it for a little bit. Stop it. And the best way is just to forget raw foods. Forget fruits, forget that for a few days, and start eating cooked foods, and see if you can put a screeching halt to this detox. Get yourself balanced out with a little salads, green drinks and stuff. Take off again. I'm just saying. Look a picture of your eyes, see what your eyes are doing. You know, see how your lips are. If you got that much mucus and stuff oozing out of you, and obviously not good color, that means you're pretty chronicked up, lymphatically speaking. You're going to want this stuff to come out of you. But again, it can come out too much and unbalance you emotionally and everything else. And sometimes, guys, you just got to pull back, get yourself grounded a little bit, you know, back to lower energy, you know, because again, when we start pouring this high energy through us, that's consciousness. And we have to be somewhat mature to handle it. I wasn't when I was 20. I was handling out-of-body travels. I was handling fruitarian, going to breatharian, and it was overwhelmingly energetic. I mean, people would be standing around me going, "My God, you're vibrating. I'm buzzing." I go, "I can't stop it." One lady was standing, talked to me in my health food store, and she says, "I'm about to leave my body. I got to get out of here." I said, "I'm trying to stop it." But, you know, you stop it, you go back and do the things that take energy away from you. You know, sometimes it's more important to be balanced than to get too ratted out. You know what I'm saying? Because any minute you can put your feet on any path you want. Who's in control? Who's driving your car? You or somebody else? I suggest you all drive your own cars. You know what? Your life will be more fun, and then you won't have to worry about someone hurting you and destroying your worlds. You have your own worlds. If you bump, you know what, with others, retain yourself. Enjoy the individuality of another without losing yourself. You don't need to give your emotional body away. I'm going to have to quit here, but I hope that helps you. I'm getting them done slowly, but I had all intentions to do another one this morning, but I had meetings to go to. I'm not good at meetings. I'm not that kind of guy. It's hard for me to sit here for hours because I'm an outdoor kind of guy. I don't like to sit behind a desk and in a chair. I wasn't raised that way. But thanks, guys, for all your work and your help, helping others, helping the planet. It is not going unnoticed. And so you guys are the divine ones, and my love is always with you. So just enjoy the beauty of your ability to get beyond this world, too. You know, keep working with the present moment and with the ability to stop thinking and allow the mind to think, but don't get involved with it. Don't get involved with thought. Keep pulling back and using observation to develop your ability to be the observer. And it will slowly begin to pull you back into that state of observation, which is a heightened state of seeing a lot more than what you're seeing, chasing thoughts. So love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you tomorrow morning on another video. I'm bound and determined to get down here to some of these pictures and stuff. I got all kinds of... I didn't even look through this pile. Oh, we've got eye picks. We got eye picks. I'll do that for the morning. Eye picks. So exciting. I'm going to talk to Jen and ask her what would it hurt if you guys threw in your eye picks. That way I can see you when you're asking me the question, and I can just go real quick over what I see. So let me see if that'll be okay. You know, and a lot of work for those guys, and they're already overworked. So I have to make sure I get their permission, because I don't want to overwork them and then they quit because we were drill sergeants or something. But good job, guys. Good job. Good job.